So what is Canada's least used tax credit? Hi there, I'm Julie McFarlane, and in my 25 years of practice in accounting and bookkeeping, in my opinion, the least used tax credit that we have available to us is definitely the medical expenses. I think most people are aware that medical expenses are deductible if you meet the criteria. So there is a threshold on medical expenses. It has to be, your total combined medical expenses have to be 3% of your net income, or just over $2,600, whichever is less. So there is that threshold to meet. But if you're combining your family expenses and you live in a rural area like I do, it doesn't take long to get to meet those thresholds and actually get a nice tax credit as well. First thing, who can you use on your tax return? You can use obviously your own medical expenses, your spouse, your children, and if you have any other close family members that are dependent upon you in the tax year, you can actually use their expenses as well. The next thing is, what do you have to keep track of? If you are paying out money for certain services like the eye doctor or dentist or that kind of thing, you can claim those expenses. Obviously, if you're being refunded by benefit package or any way like that, it's only the portion that you aren't being refunded that is applicable. But the other things that you can claim are nursing care, private nursing care, if you have crutches, medical devices, hearing aids. So it really pays to take a look at the list in the tax guide on what medical expenses you use, because I think most people are surprised how much can actually be used. For those of you that live in rural areas, we also have the ability to write off some of our travel expenses, and that is huge for those of us that have to travel for any kind of Medicare. Where I'm at, we drive an hour just for the doctor, an hour for the dentist, an hour for the eye doctor, and I mean, those are just basics, right, every year. And then if you have anything extra like massage or physiotherapy, chiropractor, any of those kind of things, which are fairly common, you know, we're driving at least an hour for that. A specialist appointment is 3 hours. You know, you're putting a lot of wear and tear on your car and a lot of gas in there. Why not get a credit for it on your tax return? So here's what the laws look like. If you're required to drive 40 kilometers or more in one direction to your doctor's appointments, you can actually claim your mileage and meals for that trip. And if you're 80 kilometers or more in one direction to your medical care provider, then you can claim accommodations and parking as well. So most people are like, I don't want to keep track of all that. It's too much paper, blah, blah, blah. But really it's not, because Revenue Canada actually allows you to use a simplified method of keeping track of that. And under that method, you only have to keep track of the date of your care provider and the amount of kilometers you drove and who you saw, obviously. I think the lowest province in Canada is 45 cents a kilometer and goes up to like 60 cents a kilometer, I think, depending on what province you're on. So if you're traveling quite a bit, that can really add up over the course of the year and across your family. And then for meals, you're actually allowed to claim $17 a meal and to a maximum of $51 a day. So that really adds up as well, because for us, I mean, just going to the eye doctor, dentist, and a doctor once a year times 5, that's 15 trips, right? So if you're claiming the mileage and the meals for that, it can add up to a nice little credit. For example, your children aren't able to drive, so they need someone to take them, then you're actually able to claim that meal expense for the driver or the companion person that is accompanying you to your appointment. Definitely something to look into. I know we've saved a lot of money on our tax returns in the past, and being small business owners, both my husband and myself, we didn't have benefits, so we were able to claim all those dental expenses and eye doctors and those kind of things, and it really helped us out. So definitely look into that. If you have any questions about it, feel free to drop me a comment or send me a message, and I'd be happy to send you a little bit more information so that you can make use on this credit as well. Talk to you soon.